Hey guys! Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today I am recreating a house from an animation film called Over the Moon. It was released in 2020 on Netflix, and it's about a Chinese girl named Fei Fei who builds a rocket ship to fly to the moon to meet a goddess. So let's get started. So I really enjoyed watching Over the Moon, which is why I wanted to try and recreate this. And I just think that, growing up, I didn't have too many animation films that showcased my culture and things that I was familiar with. And so I really enjoyed that aspect of the movie. And I also found the animation to be quite beautiful. So those were some of the things that I really enjoyed about this movie. And so this movie, the main character, her name is Fei Fei, and she is a child. And basically her and her family, they live in this house in some village. It didn't look very urbanized, like there were no apartment buildings. I didn't even see any glass, I don't think. So I'm thinking it's either a rural village or maybe the timeline is set to not be modern times. I'm not too sure. So, I had to kind of rewatch the beginning of the movie in order to recreate this building. And so it is kind of a more traditional Chinese home, where the doors and the windows, they don't have glass. And so people would just leave them open for ventilation or if they're hot and things like that. One interesting thing about Fei Fei's house is that they also run a mooncake shop. So they make the mooncakes in their own kitchen and then they sell them kind of at the front of their house. And so I've definitely included that in this build. It's not functional, so it's not a retail lot or anything like that, but I did include it. And as you can see, the front of the house is facing kind of this green, which is another lot. Usually in The Sims, the front of the lot actually faces the sidewalk or like the main road. And I decided to not have it face that way just because there's one scene in the movie where Fei Fei and her family, they're sitting down and they're eating a mid-autumn dinner festival meal type of thing. And they're eating outside in this kind of patio space. It's outdoors and they're facing a river. And so to try to recreate that, I've kind of rotated the lot so that the river is where their outdoor patio is. So that's why it's kind of facing the other way. So yeah, as you can see, I'm right now in the kitchen building out that area. The two front doors and that little corner is where they were selling the mooncakes in the front. And then this here is the kitchen. So I added a stove and a fireplace. And then they have these two tables here where the whole family, they sit together and they're like making the mooncakes together. It's a really cute scene. And so yeah, I tried not to use like fancy modern kitchen appliances. I wanted to try to keep everything looking like it fits in this house. And so I used like this mini fridge here instead of a full fridge. And then out here, this is the kind of outdoor dining area. And I noticed that most of them were sitting on stools. But in The Sims, if you want to use stools, you have to use a bar counter. So anyways, I used a mix match of different chairs because that's what I noticed in the movie. They're all sitting on like different chairs. And in general, this house has a lot of like flowers and potted plants and things like that. So I've tried to decorate that to the best of my ability. And then of course the Chinese lanterns. This here, I'm kind of like pretending that those oranges are mooncakes. So those are all there. And then I started off building this based off of scenes that I saw in the movie. So there was a scene where Fei Fei was standing kind of in this hallway and I saw that they had these two paintings and a little shelf here. And then I also saw from another scene kind of this entryway when she was talking to the new lady her father is seeing. And so yeah, I tried to, make the rooms that I actually saw in the movie first, and then the rest I kind of just made up on my own. Like this bathroom, for example, I've never seen a scene in the bathroom, but I'm sure the house has bathrooms, so I added that in there and I just decorated it to my liking. I didn't follow anything else for the rooms that I didn't see. So this here's a staircase, and then upstairs, of course, we see Fei Fei's room where she's drawing her plans for her rocket ship, things like that. I don't get to see, for example, her dad's bedroom. or any of the other washrooms. So those are all just things that I added by myself. And so yeah, the gist of the movie is that Fei Fei, her mom passes away because she's ill. And then her father, gets a girlfriend and is hoping to remarry. The new girlfriend, she seems very nice. She has a son. So Fei Fei, she's not a big fan. She doesn't really want her dad to get remarried. She misses her mom, and she's just not very comfortable with the idea. She also thinks the other lady's son is very annoying. And so she's just not used to this. And so she tries to build a rocket to fly to the moon so that she can meet the goddess of the story that her mom always told her about. And maybe her dad would remember that he only has kind of one love. So that's her objective. And so Fei Fei, she is really smart. She built her own rocket ship. She's really interested in science and all this space stuff. And so I decorated her room, with lots of space and science posters. And she has this really cute pet bunny as well. So I added that pet bunny ornament on her desk. I don't think The Sims, I think it's only cats and dogs. So there's no bunnies or anything like that. So yeah, I decorated her room based on different scenes where she's like drawing maps of her rocket ship, talking to her bunny, and just being upset and things like that. This living room space here I made up, so I decided not to add a TV or anything. I tried to choose like more traditional looking Chinese furniture, mostly wooden. This bathroom, I also just kind of made it up on my own. I'm thinking that only the parents' room would be connected to that bathroom. And then over here, I just tried to keep it very simple because again, this is like a rural house. And so like wooden furniture, I didn't add any computers, even like for the lights and things like that, I tried to keep it very simple and traditional. So I didn't overly decorate it, especially I feel like her dad's just a very like neat and simple guy. So I kept everything pretty plain in his room. So the rooms I would say that were very inspired from the movie is definitely like the overall build. Fei Fei's room, the outdoor patio where they eat, the kitchen, and then the little mooncake shop on the left there. But yeah, so I added the garbage cans, the mail, so it's a fully functioning house. And I just had a lot of fun building this. And I really liked how it turned out. This is kind of my first Oriental build. Most of my builds are very Western and modern. And I don't have the Snowy Escape expansion, but if you guys do, there's definitely a lot more build items that would be better suited for this kind of look and feel. They have different cabinets, doors, entryways. So even though it's more Japanese inspired, I could see a lot of the build items being used in here. And so you can definitely replace those. And yeah, so you can download this lot from my gallery. And thank you for watching. If you guys have any suggestions on what I should build next or what you thought of the movie, please leave them in the comments below. Toodles!